everybody, this is Bobby with BC Designs, and I have this super cute card I'm going to share with you guys today. I just love how this card turned out, and it's just so simple but yet so cute. And I have a bunch of these that I have to send out to my team members for a very special thank you for something they did for me. So I'm going to use the solid faceted gems. These have the Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, and I can't remember the rest of the colors. Let's see if they're on the back. I don't see them. They're in the catalog, and I can't remember, and I don't want to tell you the wrong name, so just look in the catalog if you're curious to what other colors are in there, to be exact. I'm going to use the Baker's Twine. I'm using a fish and a wish. I love this bundle, and it comes with this coordinating punch. It's got 10 images, and I just love, they're like the watercolor image when you stamp them. I've already embossed into the Clouds embossing folder. I just did a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4 and ran that through the embossing folder. My card base is Night of Navy, and this is just your standard 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then I took a piece of this designer series paper from the Sun Prince 12 by 12, and I cut it I think it was 3.5 by 1.5, and then I cut a piece of our vellum that is 3 1/4 by 1 1/4, and we're going to stamp on that. For this one, I am going to, if you guys can see, you can see my adhesive in the background, and I am going to stamp this up just a little bit higher. I had a different idea when I first started, and then I changed it. So this little fish barely made it behind my little ribbon there, my twine. So I'm going to stamp this up just a smidge higher, probably more so in the middle than down towards the bottom. These fish were a little bit large, so I didn't want to layer him on top because then that would kind of cover those guys up. So we'll change it up just a little bit. And I am going to use Tombow. I did a little sample, and like I said, I used the Stampin' Seal, but on this one, I just took a piece of scrap paper and the vellum, and you can see it dried clear. So I am going to use the Tombow when I do adhere that down. And we're going to use the white pigment ink and Night of Navy ink, and then I'm also going to be using my white embossing powder. So we can go ahead and get started on this really quick. We can go ahead and put this layer down, and I'll just use some Stampin' Seal. We'll just go ahead. I thought the clouds really went well with this. I was thinking about using either the brick, or I can't remember the other one that's over there that I was going to use. But let's go ahead and we'll stamp our sentiment and heat set that. So we're just going to, well, you know what, before I do that, I want to get my embossing powder over here and ready to go so I can douse it with the powder. So let's just ink that up, and we're going to stamp it kind of in the middle, I guess, this time. Just like that. And then we'll just put some embossing powder. And I forgot to use the embossing buddy. I always forget that when I do a video. When I'm not doing a video and I'm taking my time, I never forget to use it. But you know what? I always try to hurry so the videos aren't so long, and then that's where I run into my problems at. Okay, let's go ahead and turn our heat tool on. It won't take too long because I just made this card, so it should dry fairly quickly. You can kind of see when it starts to dry, it'll have a little bit of a shine to it. There we go. It's starting to melt the powder now. You might want to use the tweezers to hold this because this does get, the heat tool gets really hot. I'm just going to be careful and keep my fingers back. Okay. That is good there. We'll move this out of the way. Now let's take, I'm just going to use some scrap. I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. I'm just going to use some scrap basic white, and we're going to stamp the bigger fish twice. And you can stamp it in either direction. On the punch, it lines up better this way. So I just stamped mine upside down. I'm going to let it dry just a little bit before I try to stick it in the the punch. I don't want to smear my ink. There's my tweezers I should have used. I've got that powder everywhere. So this is what I mean if you go to line it up this way, is the direction. You can do it either way because all you have to do is turn the punch or turn your paper, whichever way that you like. Okay, and then let's put this back down. And let's see. We'll go ahead and do this one this way. I'm going to have to grab a smaller piece. Hopefully this one will fit. I was going to say, yeah, I have a longer one that I can hold onto. We'll go ahead and stamp the little fish. And that way I'll have something to hold on to. And this one can be drying while we're waiting. Just slide that one in there. Just take your time when you line that up. I like to start to grip it and squeeze it when I'm getting kind of close to where I think I want it, so that way it helps the paper not to move so much. You guys, are you proud of me? This is my second week in a row of doing a video. Now see, I stamped this. I should have stamped it at this end because now I'm gonna, okay, I need to trim a little bit of this off. I'm just gonna cut it because it's not quite fitting in there. Let's just trim a little bit of that. There we go. So I'm kind of getting it where I want it and then just squeeze it through that way. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and adhere this piece of vellum to the DSP. And to do that, like I said, I'm going to use my Tombow. And I'm going to put some of it right behind there because that's going to help that dry. And then I'm just going to put very minimal because it's not going to take a lot to hold that. And we don't want it to show through. Whoops. Slide it over. Get it a little bit straighter. Okay, that looks good. And hopefully it's not going to slide on me. Let me grab the twine. And you could use mini glue dots too. Those work really well and really help to hide the adhesive. You can't see those as well either. This one I'm wondering if it's going to dry clear because I can still clearly see it. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip these over on the back. And what I did before, I just let those fly like that. And then I just ran some adhesive right there beside that. And then you can just lay those over onto that adhesive like that to help that. Okay, let's grab some dimensionals. I was going to use mini glue dots, and now I wished I would have because that doesn't look like the Tombow. And I might just be impatient that it's not drying. I do think I'm going to put one right there to hold down. I'm not going to put one there. I'm not too worried about that coming undone. But I know I've used the mini glue dots and they hide really well. Your adhesive doesn't show. Okay, and then I like to spread that out just a little bit. And then I just took the twine and put it underneath. And then I'm going to pull some of it through. Enough to tie a bow is what we want. I think I'm going to tie it more up towards the top as well, so that way I can really have room for my fish this time. Kind of crowded them out on that design card. Okay, and we're just going to pull these. I try not to mess with this too much because that kind of seems when it starts going like that, the little ears want to start moving. But this one I do need to make it a bit smaller, and see, that one's going to start going crazy on me too. That just always drives me nuts when that does that. Let's put it around to the back. But I think that's cute like that. Hopefully we can leave it that long. So this one, what I did was I just put a little bit of adhesive, just enough to hold it. Get that off my finger there. And then I just kind of fed it through, kind of where the nose is sticking behind there, but just kind of make sure you're angling it so it's coming back down on the card and not hanging off. And then this one, we're just going to do the same thing, slide it through there. And then this guy, we're going to put on the other side. And he's just going to go right in there. See, I just wanted them behind that twine. And on the other one, it didn't quite work out because I had that stamped so low. And now, you know, the ribbon is, I could put a mini glue dot if I wanted to hold this ribbon right there. And that would kind of mask that adhesive from showing through. But what I'm going to do on this one, when I put these down, I'm just going to use these dots to help me hide those. So let's see what we can do. So I think I'm going to do a bigger one right here. I don't know if that's going to hide it or call attention to it, but work with me, people. We'll do one here. And then just so it doesn't look like it's not thought through, I'm going to take another small one and let's see. Let's do one. Could we do one up here to hide that one? I feel like they're too lined up when they need to be more sporadic. So we'll just put one right there like that. That's not bad. So yes, my suggestion is going to be to use the mini glue dots if you want to make this card to help hide your adhesive, because my Tombow clearly did not dry clear. And I don't know if that's because this is a darker cardstock and what I tried it on is so light, but you can see, you can barely see that. But the mini glue dots I know work well. And I'll show you. You could just take what I was referring to. I'm just going to take a mini glue dot and I'm just going to kind of ball it up so it's not so big. Put it right over top of that. And then we'll just put that twine right there. And that's going to help hide that little guy right there. Little tricks that you can do like that to help cover your mistakes. Clearly, you can't hide that back there, but it's a cute card anyway, you guys. But definitely, definitely make sure that you use the mini glue dots. So there you go. I hope you guys like it. And I'm going to try to get another video out for you guys again this week. So just stay tuned. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. I normally try to do videos on Mondays and Thursdays, but if you subscribe, you'll get the notification. So that way you never miss a video when I do upload, in case I do have to change up that schedule a little bit, but you do have to hit the bell icon to get the notifications. Thanks, guys. God bless.